All right, so these are my impressions for the new Nintendo E3 2011 conference. So basically, first of all, let's just go how exactly what happened. Now, I went in there thinking we already knew what was to come. So we also got to remember a couple of things here. We know Tendo got the casuals on point. Tendo's got the money. Tendo's got the franchises. Tendo knows about handhelds and console connectivity. But the one thing Tendo doesn't have is the hardcore and third party support. Where are they going to get that? Excuse me. So with moving into the whole, while Microsoft is moving to the whole family gaming, will Nintendo be able to take their place and continue on? So, without further ado, let's talk about that. First of all, they were 5 minutes late for the conference. I'm like, really? It kind of annoyed the hell out of me. But they went ahead and kept going. So anyway, as they were going, both Jeff Kingsley as well as myself realized that they started asking a lot of questions about Star Fox, and at the same time, we was like, "I wonder if that's a hint to a new Star Fox game." Well, we'll get into that in a minute. Anyway, so they first showed a trailer about the 25th anniversary of Zelda. I thought that was fantastic as a Zelda fan myself. So they kept talking out. Now, Awada came out and he started hinting about the new platform, but didn't really touch too much onto it. He went on to talk about the Mario Kart. So I thought that was pretty good. Okay, so we start talking about Mario Kart. Mario Kart is going to have the ability to customize your car a little bit more. You're also going to it's going to be released a holiday season, and I was kind of bored, honestly. Up until they announced Mario Kart, I was kind of bored really with the conference. Up until the Zelda part was great, but I was still kind of bored. I know that sounds like a contradiction, but I really was bored for a second. And then I noticed that Mario Kart kind of whipped out a glider and a submarine kind of thing on him. I was like, okay, that's different. I was like, okay, that was cool. And then they showed Star Fox one. It's funny too. And the thing he yelled out, "Do a barrel roll!" And so I laughed. I'm sure a lot of us got a good giggle out of that. Anyway, so Star Fox 64 is the game, going to be in 3D. The game will have video chat in the game. The quality wasn't that good, but it's still a video. It's kind of like a video chat while you're playing the thing. I thought that was really cool. It's going to be out in September. They also showed a new Super Mario Brothers game. At first, I thought it was like new Super Mario Brothers, but it kind of was and it kind of wasn't. Well, first of all, the Koopa Kids are back. The Tanuki suit is in action. Mario is in there with no hat on, and then the game looks like Super Mario Bros. 64 meets new Super Mario Bros. So that's going to be available this holiday season. Kid Icarus, the voice acting was decent. It kind of made me wish Zelda was kind of voiced. But Kid Icarus will have, in fact, a multiplayer battle feature, which, once again, I thought was very good, too. So they also gave a hint toward card fighting. But anyway, it's going to be a 3 versus 3, so up to 6 players be able to go ahead and battle out. I thought that was interesting as well. Luigi's Mansion. This is one of the most underrated games ever on a Dreamcast. A lot of people who have not played it automatically hate on it, but honestly, after you played it, it is kind of fun. Yeah, at least I thought it was. So anyway, that was pretty. What else? Anything else? Oh, third party support includes Resident Evil: The Mercenaries. Let me see. Mario and Sonic at London Games. Tetris Returns. Cave Story, Resident Evil Revelations, Driver Renegade, Tekken, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. So also, they also talking about the eShop and how the eShop is going to have both handheld and console games available on the eShop for the system, which is really good. So that's a lot of games out there. They also talk about a new program called the Pokedex, 3D Pokedex, which will allow you to go ahead and it's kind of like a complete Pokedex program for your system. So your system essentially turns into a Pokedex. That's actually pretty good for you extreme Pokemaniacs out there, I guess. Now, no, we are always waiting for the information on the new system. The new system, which is called now the Wii 2. No, not the Stream. No, not Project Cafe, but called the Wii 2. Now, I was like, whoa, okay. I'm not gonna. I was like, okay, the name definitely isn't hitting me, But then again, neither did the Wii at first. But so I started thinking about, okay. And then bam, it's a tablet. And I started going crazy because I was like, oh my God, did Nintendo actually get it right? Nintendo, the truth and we love her. I was like, whoa, did they get it right? Because I know they did mention that. It's a tablet. It really is a tablet. So now I'm kind of worried now because I'm like, well, that looks kind of big with the controls. I'm thinking that you're going to have the same problems as the original Xbox did, but I'm not. So at first I'm like, let's keep watching. So, it's supposed to give you like a new outlook on your games, which from what the trailer I showed, it definitely showed some great games that was going on here. They showed the new Zelda, a hint of a new Zelda anyway. They mentioned how it's going to have a touch screen, a microphone, was it touchscreen, a microphone, all the buttons that you're on the usual controller. It's going to have more buttons than the actual Vita will have, and a host of other new features. I thought it was actually pretty good. Then they showed what the trailer can do. Now, first trailer they showed was a bird, things of nature. So if that was any indication of what they can actually do, it's going to look really good. So I was like, okay, well, if that's what they can do, the graphics are going to look great. They're going to look fantastic. So then they mentioned the first game that they announced for the system is, in fact, Lego City Stories. And I'm like, really? So to be honest with you, man, you're talking about you want to reach out to the hardcore audience, and you're bringing up Lego City Stories. So then here's the thing though. Anyway, Peter Moore actually they went on a thing and a whole bunch, basically talking about how a whole bunch of companies were talking about how good the system was, and Peter Moore mentioned a new console. Now I noticed that keeps saying that. I'm not really understanding exactly. There's two things I'm not understanding. Number one is exactly where is this actual thing coming from? Like where. You keep mentioning a console, but then he mentioned the console and the controller in kind of two different ways. So I'm not really understanding exactly if the console and the controller are the same thing. Because if it is, I didn't notice any, they didn't mention any form of media input. That's what I'm getting at. They didn't show any form of media input. All they said was controller. And I'm like, okay, the controller, good, controller. Okay, console, okay. Well, wait a minute. If the controller and the console are the same thing, I'm not seeing any media input. Where do you put the media in? So could this be the step into digital distribution? Now, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that Zephyrnix doesn't know. That's all I'm saying right now. I will definitely go ahead and post an annotation on the thing to find out what's going on with that one. Fortunately, I can't find out right now. I'll have because I got to go to work very soon. But they basically mentioned, this is the thing he said. He said you're getting a full console experience in your hand. So that made me believe that, okay, well, maybe this is the actual console, which is not a bad thing. I mean, a tablet, we all already know. Like, there's been a lot of mention already in the what do you call that? In the news, in the technology world, that tablets will become the next consoles. So it looks like Nintendo's already on there. They look like they're already on it. So that's actually pretty good. Once again, Nintendo hitting the future. I wouldn't really call it innovating, as to there's already tablets out there that can do gaming, but you get the idea. Anyway, so they also mentioned full console. They also mentioned some of the third-party games. Now, they mentioned Darkstalkers 2, Tekken, Batman Arkham City, Assassin's Creed, Ghost Recon Online, Dirt, Aliens, Colonels, Marines, Metro Last Light, Ninja Gaiden 3, and Ninja Gaiden 3 and Batman Arkham City, rather. The crowd started cheering. It was like, yeah. It was good move. So, yeah, it definitely was a good move. And then... they also showed a little bit of gameplay on there as well. It looked great if that was the real gameplay. I'm not really sure if that's the real gameplay. So like I said before, I didn't see where the media went. Where they put the media at, but the EA president stepped in the stage, and he's talking about had a deeper online, and he didn't announce any games, but he did state that EA will support the system. So I mean, to be honest with you, those are some big things right there. So what I'm thinking about, well, I'm thinking that once again, Nintendo definitely, they like to go ahead and take plunges. They like to go ahead and take chances. So I think because of the GameCube was one of the first times where they really played it safe. So it looks like they're not trying to, they're being Nintendo as they usually are, and which means that they walk, they pretty much walk their own path, and eventually you will follow. That's usually the case. I mean, if you really think about it like this, a lot of people are like saying, yo, Zephyrnix, you're totally wrong. Digital distribution is not the way of the future. I do remember there was a rumor regarding how Xbox, their new console, was actually going to be a tablet as well. I'm just saying. I just kind of remember that. But anyway, I'm going all beyond everything here. Long and short of it, my thoughts. At first, I was a bit underwhelmed because it did go kind of slow. And then when the finally new console started being announced, I was like, okay. Well, with Nintendo, I've noticed that never to use the first initial thought. and to wait on until I really got to see what's going on. So now they got I see what's going on. They got the third party support, they got everything, and they're hitting a step to the future because not only are you getting a tablet, but you're getting a tablet with online capability, having really good online capabilities. And he mentioned that a deeper online capability. The guy from EA did anyway. So overall, I'm thinking that I'm thinking this is what I can see. The outside of box thinkers. The outside of box thinkers are going to be a little bit on the fence. The usual just spit out your mouth crap stuff people are going to be like, no, I don't want that. They're going to be like that. Like I said, for the outside the box thinkers, I can already tell what a lot of people start thinking. But overall, I'm good for it. It's a definite move in a really good direction. Not only that, but we couldn't find out that you can actually, your video can actually stream directly from your from the handheld to your TV. Now, like I said, I'm not really 100% understanding what the situation is, and I will come back with an after show later on to really talk about it after I've been to work and I got time to go ahead and really look into this whole thing here. But so far, I'm not gonna say I'm super impressed by the conference itself, but the technology the technology in the direction that they're going, pretty much a console game in your hand. Once again, they pretty much they made it so like you don't see like your Wii irrelevant, because your Wii apparently is strictly for the I'm sorry, one thing I noticed too. There was one part in Tekken where the guy actually took a thing and drew on the guys on Tekken's face. And so it was like it was already stuck on that, and then he drew like a picture on his back. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was epic. So things like that really make me think that this could be a move in a really, really, really good direction. I'm definitely feeling this. As I keep thinking about it, as I keep kind of pondering it in my head, I'm feeling it even more. But I'm going to go ahead and give you my my final thoughts here. So as I did for all three of the consoles, in terms of the core gamer, have they satisfied the core gamer? I think yes. Mind you, this is just the first wave, but with games such as Batman Arkham City, which is definitely one of the best games when Batman Arkham Asylum came out, as well as some other games that were announced here, including out of nowhere Ninja Gaiden 3, two great games right there. So yeah, between those games, Future Online, and then you also, Ghost Recon Online, and that's only the first wave? You said that's only the first wave. That means that all the games haven't even been announced yet. So if it continues going this route, then I'm impressed. Even with the games that just announced right now, these are three games that we never even thought we'd see on Nintendo platform. So alone, this is a fantastic move. Definitely, I'll give it a 6. In terms of social gaming, did it hit you with the social gaming? Did they hit you with like a social gamer, someone who games not just by himself, but with a whole bunch of people next to him, not online? I'm going to rate it pretty low because of the fact that I really didn't see any. That being said, that whole that whole Star Fox thing, when they saw the camera thing, that definitely pushed in the right direction, even though I just said not online. But no one was really expecting that. But you know what? That doesn't really, I'm not going to let that count. They really didn't announce any real social games. So I'm going to rate that low. So I'm going to rate that, a 2, only because Nintendo has plenty of social games with them already. Last but not least, of course, I'm going to go ahead. Oh my God. Sorry. I'll explain to you why I'm saying oh my God later on. In terms of so they got the core, they got the thing. I mean, overall, including now in terms of a business model, well, they already said that EA's got their back. EA already said that they got their back. So I'm seeing, and I see a lot of third party out there. I'm seeing that I'm going to say about a 6. Not complete support from third party, but nonetheless, on a business model, I think this is a good move and a good position. Now, like I said, I'm not 100% sure. I'm still reeling over the shock here, but yeah. Just one final thought, though. One final thought about how this actually could be very, very relevant. Now, a price point wasn't announced, but I will say this. My wife actually was talking about this, and she was mentioning how she would love to have a tablet that actually not only played games by itself, but was a tablet more like a console. And she actually mentioned that. And she's going to be crapping in her pants. In fact, I expect her to be texting me any minute now about when she finds out what the Nintendo console really is. We're gonna have to see. Anyway, I'll be coming later on with a later show talking about after I've revealed everything. I'm talking about basically what's going on this E3. You guys have a good night. Zeph out.